An important thing to remember when you travel, the more you know, the further your dollar will take you, and the less chance you have of getting taken for a ride. This morning, CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg is here to answer some of your trip-related questions, and we always rely on you to help people not only maybe get some resolve in a situation, but also to give us good tips just in general.
Not to get taken again.
Yes, taken again. So we have a couple of questions that have come in from viewers, and the first one is actually, Michael is joining us via Skype. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
So tell us, what's your question for Peter?
Well, I rented a Hertz van from the Shannon, Ireland airport, and I used my Capital One credit card to avoid the currency conversion surcharge. But when I returned the van, I noticed that Hertz charged me a higher rate than Capital One did.
Huh.
Yeah, well,
that sounds like a bait and switch.
Well, it's interesting. Capital One is one of those credit cards that does not charge you the foreign conversion rate, which could be anywhere from 1% to 3% of the charge. So that could be staggering when you get home and get that extra bill.
Right.
That's the good news. The problem is the Hertz dealership or the Hertz location in Ireland converted it anyway and then charged his card that amount. So the thing is, even though it was not on the original reservation that he did, it was on the contract that he signed in Ireland. So the key here is double check the contract before you sign it in that location.
So basically, just clear that up for me one more time. So even though the credit card wouldn't charge him the conversion fee, the way that Hertz did the transaction, they were making it a fee?
They did it. Now, we contacted Hertz, and they gave him a full refund, but not because they had to, but because they had fully disclosed it in the contract in Ireland, but not when he made his reservation. So you have to do twice. Check the reservation here and then ask them if they're going to do the conversion there, because if you don't, you're going to get hosed.
Okay, so you want to get charged, just to be clear, so if I was overseas doing this and I was using that same credit card so I'd avoid the fee, I want to be charged in whatever the local currency is, not in US dollars.
Without the conversion rate.
Okay,
correct.
Good. All right, Michael, I hope that helps.
That did, thank you.
You got it.
Up next, we have a question from Sarah, who sent this in via Facebook, and this is one that I can relate to as a parent, so many people can. With all the fees, she writes, I get confused as to if child carriers, strollers, etc., are still exempt from baggage fees to ship, and does it matter if it's checked at the desk or at the gate? Does it, too, count toward the number of allotted bags that you have?
Here's some good news. I mean, we don't get a lot of it these days in the airline business where they want to charge you for everything short of breathing.
Yes. And they're making record profits for doing it.
Yes, they are. Strollers and the child seats that are attached to those strollers, ones that actually can be removed, are still exempt. They will gate check them for you at the jetway, or they'll let you bring them on the plane if they will fit in the overhead compartment. So
right, or for car seats, you can bring them on the plane, because a lot of people...
Those are the ones that will actually come over there.
Infant carriers and car seats, because you use them on board.
So on U.S. domestic carriers, we checked with United, Delta, American, Southwest, you're still exempt, which is great.
No extra charge, you can still check at the gate. But as we were talking in the break, internationally, you need to call first, because those
every other carrier is another different zip code on that.
Okay. This next question... This we really put you to work on. So this comes to us from Martha, who wrote in from Newark, Delaware, and she sent this email. She says she contracted with the vacation store to stay at a timeshare in Florida last May. In August, the resort charged her card an additional $729.98, stating they'd never been paid by the vacation store. She says she filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau of Indiana, the Florida Division of Consumer Services. They were also unable to obtain a response. Tell us, what happened here to Martha?
Very simple. The vacation store is a travel agency. She paid them. They never paid the travel provider, which is a timeshare in Florida. So they charged her card again. It was a double dip. Not the fault of the timeshare. They never got paid. She didn't get a response. Well, we did. We called the owner of the vacation store, who goes by 2 different names, by the way, and asked him what was going on. He claimed he'd never heard of anything. We said, no, we know you have, because they've been unable to contact you, and they know they have a record trail here of those attempts. He said, I'll get back to you. And you know what he did? He called the woman who just wrote us and said to her, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a free vacation and a full refund as long as Peter Greenberg doesn't go on the air and report about it. Well, guess what, guys? We're on the air. We are reporting on it because you didn't do the right thing. We checked with the Better Business Bureau, 37 separate complaints against this guy in the last 3 years.
Wow.
Yes, so my advice to Martha is small claims court in Indiana. You have a $6,000 limit on claims. She'll be covered there.
She had tried to contact the Better Business Bureau.
And she did.
And they were unable at the time to get a response as well.
Exactly. So this guy's playing games. And you know what? We're on the air because we're not going to take that kind of bribe. It doesn't work that way. It's unethical, and not only that, there's no assurance based on the number of complaints of this guy that he's ever going to keep his promise to her anyway.
I've also noticed this means you're not safe from Peter Greenberg, because even if other people can't get a response, you did.
Well, yes, but look at the response that we got. He called her and tried to buy her off in the event that we would go on the air. Well, we're on the air.
There you go. Always solving our problems and helping to prevent a few in the future as well.
You got it.
Peter, thanks. Always good to see you.
Okay.